She mentioned, "I chose you since I was aging. Remember that." I responded, "I won't." Then I ensured she'd always recall the moment I disrupted her existence by relocating while she was at her rejuvenation resort. Her key returned via the mailbox without any message. Initial entry: "I'm 46 male. Caught wind of something 3 weeks back that altered it all. Been with Rebecca 44 for 4 years, cohabiting for 2. Believed we shared something authentic, not flawless, but sturdy. She was chatting with her sibling Diane in our sleeping area, entrance partially ajar. I'd arrived home prematurely from the job due to a migraine, was set to declare my presence when I caught my name. Rebecca, listen. I'm not claiming I lack feelings for Grant. He's okay, reliable, sufficient. However, he's not precisely what I envisioned at 25. Let's face facts. I compromised. I was 40. My choices were dwindling, and he was accessible and eager. My gut sank, yet I continued eavesdropping. Self-tormenting, perhaps? Does he suspect? Heavens no. He believes he struck gold, which frankly makes him simpler to handle. He's appreciative, follows my lead, covers most expenses. It functions. That's harsh, Becca. It's sensible. I offered him my prime years looks-wise. The minimum he can do is ensure my 40s are comfy. Moreover, a guy like him ought to consider himself fortunate to possess someone like me. I remained there, stunned. 4 years. 4 years, assuming I'd discovered my match following my split. 4 years of her evidently regarding me as a handy cash machine with average appearance. Stepped out silently, remained in my vehicle for 60 minutes. When I eventually entered, she was beaming. "Rebecca, honey, you're back early. I was considering we ought to sample that fresh French eatery this evening." My expense. Her expense. Using the charge card I settle each month. Me, all right. We proceeded. She selected the priciest vino. Discussed desiring to revamp the sitting area. My sitting area. My residence. I agreed, grinned, settled the bill when her plastic oddly failed. That evening she uttered something that locked it all in. We were preparing for sleep. She was performing her detailed skin regimen. The $300 per month delivery I finance. "Grant, you realize I adore you, correct?" "Me, certainly." "Fine. Occasionally I fret you don't value what you've got. I mean, I might have wed Richard." Richard, her former who left her 5 years prior for a 28-year-old. "Me, I value you. Do you truly? Since at times I sense you overlook that I compromised for you as I was aging." Remember that. There it was, facade fully removed. "I won't." Excellent. "Oh, I reserved that rejuvenation resort getaway next week. The complete deal. It's merely $3,000 for 5 days. You won't object, right? When are you departing?" "Tuesday dawn, return Sunday." "Me, ideal." She pecked my cheek. "You're wonderful, even if you're not very attractive." Chuckled as if it were humorous. It wasn't. Update 1, the strategy. Devoted the following 3 days organizing my affairs. You see, Rebecca had committed some vital errors. 1, the residence, mine. Acquired it prior to meeting. 2, her vehicle, mine too. Purchased it for her last year. Retained it under my title for coverage reasons. 3, all services, memberships, video platforms, my profiles. 4, the plastic cards she employs, added user only. She'd relocated in 2 years ago, adding precisely $300 monthly for food, while I handled the $2,200 loan. All bills, her auto installment, coverage, all. She labored part-time at a shop, perhaps earning $1,200 monthly, which she used on outfits and procedures. Tuesday dawn arrived. She departed for her resort at 7 a.m., bidding farewell with a kiss. Avoid cluttering the place while I'm absent. And recall, the maid arrives Thursday. Enjoy yourself. I always do. Oh, and perhaps improve yourself during my absence? The fitness pass I obtained for you is unused. The fitness pass that she acquired for me, via my plastic. The instant her ride vanished around the bend, I began. Initial contact, relocation firm. Urgent shift, same day. Expensive, but valuable. Second contact, my attorney friend Tom. Tom, certain about this? She directly stated she compromised for me. To my face. Good Lord, all right, legally you're safe. She's not on the title. No official lease. You can request her departure whenever. Not requesting. She's at a resort, returning to truth. By midday, I'd boxed my items, terminated her plastic, added user rights withdrawn, eliminated her from my auto coverage, altered the streaming code, minor but pleasing, shifted the services to the new proprietor. Yes, I'd intended to vend anyway. The property had been listed discreetly for 2 months. Cash bid arrived last week. Flawless timing. Finalization sped up for Friday. Rebecca would remain away. By 3 p.m., my belongings were in my fresh flat across the city. Pleasant spot. Single man's den, River Vista. Then the precise portion. Boxed all Rebecca's items. Each luxury purse, each footwear, each skin item, expertly, cautiously, even protected the fragiles. 23 containers altogether, kept in a temperature-regulated storage space. Initial month covered. Beyond that, her issue. Place the storage key and details on the kitchen surface with a basic message. Your belongings. Space covered until the 15th. Wednesday received a message from Rebecca. Resort is fantastic. Receiving a skin treatment. You ought to view these ladies all frantic to appear youthful. Pathetic, truly. Good thing I appear 35 innately. Responded, savor it. Thursday, she phoned. Rebecca, my plastic was rejected at the resort store. Can you investigate? Me? Could be a network problem. Utilize your bank card. Annoying, okay. This is humiliating, though. Her bank card with her huge $400 account sum. Friday was finalization day. Signed documents at 9 a.m. New proprietors assuming control Monday. Rebecca would arrive Sunday to emptiness. But I wasn't finished. Observe, her social feed was packed with entries about embracing my finest existence and fortunate with opulence and certain females possess everything. Images of her in my residence, with my vehicle, at dining spots I funded. Crafting this entire illusion existence. I avoided anything trivial like revealing her. Unnecessary. Truth would handle it. Saturday dawn. She phoned again. Rebecca, Grant, issues with every plastic. I'm attempting to settle for my sessions and nothing functions. Me, odd, must be a financial institution matter. Can you transfer funds? This is so humiliating. Me, I'm occupied. Can't reach the institution. Are you for real? I'm at a high-end resort. These folks recognize me. I'm certain they comprehend tech glitches. She disconnected. 20 minutes afterward, her sibling Diane phoned. Grant, what's happening? Becca's panicking. Financial glitch, evidently. Can you assist her? Can't she use her funds? You know she doesn't. I mean, doesn't what? Forget it. Never mind. Sunday dawn, Rebecca's arrival day. I was already established in my new location. Deactivated my device. Went to golf with Tom. Update 2, the arrival. Reactivated my device Sunday night. 67 messages, 43 unanswered calls. Began perusing from the start. At home. Where are you, Grant? Why is there a storage space key on the surface? Where is all? What have you done? This isn't amusing. Where are my items? The place is vacant. Contact me immediately. Then the calls commenced. Message after message, rising from bewilderment to fury to alarm. Ultimately, one message highlighted. The locks fail. Correct, since the new proprietors had swapped them post-finalization. They were relocating Monday but conducted an inspection Sunday night. 8 p.m., she phoned from Diane's device. I picked up. What have you done? Me, relocated. You, relocated? Without informing me? Where are my items? Storage space. Details on the surface. Oh wait, you can't re-enter. The locks are altered. Some pair is here claiming they possess the residence. They do. Finalized Friday. You vended our residence? My residence. I vended my residence. Where am I meant to reside? Not my concern. You're a resilient, self-reliant lady who compromised for me, recall? I'm sure you'll manage. You can't do this. We're a couple. Were, past. Over what? Because I visited a resort? No. Because you informed your sibling you compromised for me. Because you stated it directly. Because you've treated me as a purse for 2 years. Quiet. You overheard that? Every bit, including the segment about me being thankful and simpler to control. I didn't intend. You intended each word, and that's okay. But I'm finished being your pension scheme. Grant, please, let's discuss this. Me. No discussion needed. Your items in storage. First month covered. Your vehicle. I'll vend that as it's titled to me. I'll send you a payment for your inputs. Roughly $500 over 2 years. You can't seize my vehicle. Not your vehicle. Never was. She began weeping. Genuine tears now. Not the controlling ones I'd witnessed prior. Where am I meant to go? Diane's sofa appears open. Or perhaps Richard will accept you again. Oh wait, he's wed to that 28-year-old now, right? In the distance, you're on loudspeaker, jerk. Hello, Diane. Your sibling's yours now. Best wishes. Disconnected. Update 3. The consequences Monday dawn. The assault began. Rebecca attempted all. Generated fresh numbers to message from. Had acquaintances I unaware she possessed contacting me. Even involved her mother, Eleanor. Grant. I don't comprehend what occurred. Rebecca's crushed. Me. Did she inform you what she stated? She noted a miscommunication. Me. She informed me she compromised for me as she was aging. That I ought to be thankful. That I'm not attractive, but at least I fund things. Oh, Rebecca. I warned her that mindset would rebound someday. Hold on, what? She's perpetually been thus. Assumed she was superior to all. I'm apologetic, Grant. You merited superior. Unexpected turn I didn't anticipate, but Rebecca wasn't concluded. Tuesday, she appeared at my employment. Complete cosmetics. Donning the gown I'd purchased for our milestone, sobbing in the entrance. Protection alerted. I descended. Grant, please. I adore you. Me. No, you don't. I do. I was foolish conversing with Diane. I didn't mean any. You directly informed me you compromised. I was evaluating you? I truly chuckled. Evaluating me? By stating you compromised for me as you were aging? Rebecca, I desired to observe if you'd battle for me. Me? Battle for someone who views me as a purse with thinning hair? Decline. You're being mean. No, I'm being truthful. Something you might attempt. She altered approaches, clutched my limb. I'm 44, Grant. Do you understand the scene for females my age? I'll be solitary, me. You were solitary when with me. You merely had someone settling your debts. That's untrue. Name one aspect you adore about me unrelated to what I supply. She remained there, lips parting and shutting like a marine creature. You're compassionate. To your finances, yes? Protection advanced. Sir, should we remove her? I'm departing. But this isn't concluded, Grant. You can't discard 4 years. You discarded them when you resolved I was merely a stand-in with income. Wednesday, the vehicle issue detonated. I'd advertised her vehicle for sale. 2021 BMW 3 Series, minimal distance, excellent state, valued for quick sale. Rebecca discovered when she visited the parking area of Diane's structure and found it absent. I'd arranged its retrieval Tuesday evening, lawfully, as it was my asset. The messages arrived rapidly from Diane's digit. You pilfered my vehicle. I'm contacting authorities. That's robbery. I require that vehicle for employment. I replied once. Vehicle was registered to me. Debt in my title. Coverage in my title. Payment being sent for your $500 in installments. She did contact authorities. They contacted me. Sir, we have Rebecca Thornton here, asserting you pilfered her transport. I vended my transport, one registered only to me. Officer, she claims she's been contributing payments. She added $500 over 2 years toward a $35,000 vehicle. I'm sending her a payment for her additions. Officer understood. Was she residing with you? We parted. She was never on any papers for the transport. Ma'am, no robbery here. It's civil at most. I heard her yelling in the distance before the officer disconnected. Thursday, the online drive commenced. Rebecca went extreme on social platforms, shared this lengthy theatrical tale about being deserted and economically mistreated and abandoned with zilch after donating my prime years to someone. The responses were first empathetic. Then someone, praised them, inquired, "Didn't you share last month about being superior to most males and compromising is occasionally essential?" Captures began emerging. Prior shares where she boasted about instructing her partner. One where she stated, "Intelligent females select funders, not romantics." Another stating, "I may be 44, but I appear 35 and merit treatment like 25. Her story collapsed swiftly. Then arrived the finest segment. Her former Richard's spouse, Melissa, the 28-year-old she'd ridiculed, responded, "Fate is lovely. Perhaps if you hadn't devoted 3 years labeling me a fortune-seeking kid while you were actually surviving off Grant's funds, folks might sympathize. At least I possess my career." The response area detonated. Evidently, Rebecca had been unkind to many females over time, labeling them fortune seekers while residing cost-free in my residence. Update 4, the Intensification Friday. Rebecca did something unforeseen. She attempted to assert informal union. Her fresh attorney, evidently Diane's partner's relative, dispatched me a notice requesting half of all based on our informal union standing. One issue, our region doesn't acknowledge informal union. Tom contacted the attorney straight. The dialogue, as Tom recounted, "Tom, you aware this region hasn't acknowledged informal union since 1996, correct? Well, they cohabit. Cohabiting doesn't generate asset rights without written pact. Your patron was a visitor in my patron's home. She added to home costs. $300 monthly for food while residing rent-free in a $400K residence. That's not addition, that's benevolence from my patron. We'll observe what a magistrate states. Certain. And when your patron fails, she'll owe my patron's legal costs, likely around $20K. Does she possess $20K? The attorney abandoned the matter Monday, but Rebecca wasn't finished. She appeared at my fresh flat structure Saturday evening, intoxicated. The porter contacted me. "Porter, Mr. Davidson, there's a lady here asserting to be your spouse." I descended. Rebecca was disheveled. Cosmetics blurred, locks messy, in sleepwear and stilettos. Rebecca. "Grant, inform him I'm your partner. Me, former partner, and she must depart. I have no place. Still at Diane's? She expelled me, said I was harmful, her own sibling. Astonishing, please, just one evening. I'll rest on the sofa. No. I'm 44 and without shelter. You're 44 with employment, education, and likely some reserves from those years without rent. You're not without shelter. You're merely confronting results." She collapsed against the barrier. "I lack reserves. Where did your earnings go? You earned at least $1,200 monthly and paid naught. Garments, sessions. The existence I merited. The existence you couldn't sustain. You could sustain it. And now I'm opting not to." The porter advanced. "Ma'am, I require you to depart or I'll contact authorities." She gazed at me once more. "You know, you're correct. You're not attractive. You're dull. You lack flair. I was compromising. And yet, I'm the one with a home, transport, and self-respect. Enjoy life, Rebecca." Update 5. The Repercussions. It's been 3 weeks since that evening at my flat structure. The vehicle vended for $28K. I sent Rebecca a payment for $500 as vowed. She redeemed it promptly. Per rumors, Tom's spouse knows all. Rebecca's living setup has been notable. Week 1. Diane accepted her again post-intoxicated event, but with stipulations. Rebecca had to secure full-time work and pay rent. Week 2, Rebecca was dismissed from the shop for skipping shifts during her resort week and following collapse. Diane issued a deadline. Secure employment in 2 weeks or exit. Week 3, Rebecca evidently contacted Richard. You know, the former who left her. His spouse, Melissa, shared on social. When the former who labeled you a kid bride fortune seeker requests your spouse for funds, the boldness is immense. Yesterday, I encountered Rebecca's mother, Eleanor, at the market. Eleanor, Grant, how are you? Fine, thanks you. Oh, you know, Rebecca's relocated home briefly. Apologies to hear. Don't be. She required this alert 2 decades ago. I somewhat fault myself. Her dad and I indulged her. Always informed her she was unique. Merited the finest, never compelled her to labor. Meh. Still, it must be tough. Eleanor, what's tough is observing your 44-year-old offspring hurl a fit because we won't fund her injections. She truly stated we were undermining her opportunities of locating another funder. Another funder. Not companion. Funder. We conversed more. Eleanor noted Rebecca was seeking positions but continually offended by the compensations proposed. Eleanor, she rejected a supervisor role at Macy's because it merely paid $45K. I inquired what she believed she was valued, with her decade-old promotion credential and irregular store background. What did she state? That she was valued whatever a male was ready to pay for her looks. I informed her that opportunity had passed and she better learn to navigate. Harsh truth from mother. Last evening, I received one last message from an unfamiliar digit. This is Rebecca, using mother's device. I desired you to know I began counseling, not to regain you but to understand how I turned this individual. I'm apologetic for what I stated. You merited superior. I know that doesn't repair anything, but I desired you to know. I didn't reply. Nothing to utter. Final update. It's been 2 months now since I relocated while Rebecca was at her rejuvenation resort. Life's altered, calmer, less costly, absolutely, but also freer. Like I didn't grasp how burdensome the ongoing, understated disdain was until it vanished. I enrolled in a culinary course, something Rebecca always derided. Why study when we can order? Encountered some interesting folks. Began cards with Tom and guys from employment every Thursday. Resumed carpentry, which Rebecca had termed ordinary. Even began courting somewhat. Nothing committed yet. Had beverage with Angela from my course. She demanded to cover her own drink. Almost forgot that sensation. The Rebecca news has diminished, but I learned via Eleanor, who I still meet sometimes, that she's laboring full-time at a service center. $5K, annually. Still with parents. Ceased counseling after 3 meetings because the counselor didn't grasp her value. Attempted to launch a romance advisor social business named Elite Females. 12 subscribers, mostly automated. Her profile still states executive, business owner, existence manager. The storage space. She never retrieved her items. It was sold last month for non-settlement. I learned from the manager that it fetched $200 to someone seeking luxury purses to vend. Her containers of her vital possessions sold to an unknown for less than 1 of her skin sessions. The most amusing part? Last week, Rebecca made a video on social about detecting a self-absorbed person. In it, she portrays someone who deserts you abruptly and employs monetary dominance as mistreatment and lacks compassion. The responses were unkind. Someone located her prior social shares and made a reply clip titled, "Female who confessed to compromising labels ex-self-absorbed for rejecting it. It has 100K watches." But here's the point. I'm not furious anymore. Not even resentful. Rebecca provided me a remarkable present, really. She demonstrated precisely what I avoid in a companion. She instructed me that solitude is vastly superior to being with someone who views you as inferior. Do I lament the 4 years? Occasionally. But mainly, I'm thankful I overheard that call. Thankful she was reckless enough to voice it. Thankful she directly informed me she compromised. Because if she hadn't, I might have wed her. Might have devoted another 20 years being quietly demeaned, economically depleted, and emotionally reduced. Might have never experienced genuine appreciation. Instead, I'm 46, unattached, and truly content. I've got my spot with River Vista. My reserves are rebounding well. I can view whatever on screen without remarks about my simple preferences. I can attend fitness or not without indirect jabs about my mature physique. And the finest, when Angela chuckled at my silly quip over beverage, it was authentic. When she stated she liked conversing with me, she intended it. When she messaged requesting another meeting, it wasn't accompanied by a payment demand. Rebecca was accurate about one aspect. She did compromise for me, but not as she believed. She compromised for utilizing someone rather than partnering. She compromised for a deal-based bond instead of authentic. She compromised for viewing herself as a reward to claim rather than a teammate to develop with. And me? I disrupted, actually and metaphorically, boxed my existence while she was administering unknown substances to her features. Left her the storage key and naught else. Permitted her to return to the truth she built, one where she was superior to the male funding her expenses. The mailbox, still at the former residence. New proprietors noted they received some correspondence for Rebecca last week. They labeled it Return to Origin, no longer here. Appears appropriate. Folks inquire if I regret how it concluded. About abandoning her with zilch. But I didn't abandon her with zilch. I left her with precisely what she contributed to the bond, herself. And if that seems like zilch to her, well, that's something she must resolve in counseling. Or not. Not my issue now. Finest $3,000 resort session I ever funded. It provided me a 5-day opportunity to reclaim my existence. Funds well utilized. Edit, since some inquired, yes, this is lawful. She had no occupancy rights without lease or steady rent settlements. The vehicle was mine lawfully. No regulations violated, just emotions and prides. Edit 2. To the folks stating I should have conversed with her first, I did. She directly informed me she compromised for me. When someone informs you who they are, trust them initially. Edit 3. Rebecca located this entry. Received a lengthy message about slander and mental anguish. Tom chuckled for 5 continuous minutes. Truth is complete protection. Plus, I never used her surname. Parish angry about it. Becca.